And this is going to be a very fun episode, a very fun podcast, because this is 10 ideas for engaging a mastermind group on social media. Now, if you've ever heard of a mastermind group before, the first time you probably heard of a mastermind group is probably from Facebook. You've probably, well, not everyone, but a lot of people who have heard of mastermind groups recently have probably heard of them through Facebook. You see Facebook groups and you've got a mastermind for everything. You've got a marketing mastermind. You've got a business mastermind. You've got a local mastermind. You've got every motivational speaker's got a mastermind. Every marketing guru's got a mastermind. Everybody's got, and I use the term everybody loosely, but lots of people have masterminds and they're groups with hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people in them. And that is not a real mastermind. So with those mastermind groups, with the mastermind group, you've got the mastermind as just a big Facebook group. You've got a mastermind as a big Facebook group for whatever organization they are. And then you've got a mastermind that literally transforms what it is that you're doing into a productive opportunity. So, as Napoleon Hill first described the mastermind group in the book, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons, the very first chapter of that book. And then there's the mastermind group as described in Think and Grow Rich, which is a condensed version of Law of Success. And the mastermind is basically you transforming your mind, or you creating a third, more powerful mind. So think about it this way. Take you. You have these goals, you have these missions, you have these ambitions, you have these things that you want to do, whether in business or your personal life or, career, financial, whatever those are, whatever those goals are, you've got all of those ideas just in your head booming. And then you've got a second person. You've got the other person that could potentially be a part of your mastermind. So this other second person also has their goals, their ambitions, their knowledge, their skills. And then and when you create a mastermind with that person, not only are you taking your thoughts, your ideas, your skills, your knowledge, and combining it with this other person's mind, knowledge, ideas, thoughts, potential, skills, and all of that. And when you combine two people, that ultimately creates a third, because you've got all those ideas and you're combining them. And if you're able to harness that energy in an effective way, you're creating this third powerful, amazing, just culmination of minds. Imagine if you were able to express all of your thoughts with that other person, brainstorm all your thoughts, combine your ideas, combine your skills, combine your knowledge, and then be able to that is a third mind. I know it doesn't sound logical, but that's just what happens. There's two people, there's two brains, and there was originally, these two minds, but then now they're creating something even more powerful. So what is that? Is that just two, or is that, the third mind, right? So that's getting a little hypothetical there, and, you can discuss that however you want. But when you do the mastermind group, that's what's happening. You think about as you create bigger mastermind groups. Now, there's these Facebook mastermind groups where the problem with those groups is that when you got a mastermind group with a tight-knit group of people, you are working towards and Napoleon Hill described it, a mastermind group is a group of people that work towards a definite common purpose. Those aren't the exact words, but you're working towards the same purpose. You have the same goals of helping each other, particularly in a financial way. Right? So it'd be like if you had your mind and your knowledge and your skills in one area and this other person helped to complement it, and you wanted to work cohesively together towards a common goal, that's where the mastermind would be the most powerful. And it could be, multiple people in that working in that way. But what happens with the Facebook groups is they got a ton of mastermind groups, but these Facebook groups, they don't work together towards a common purpose. There's probably one person who creates the overall arching ideas, and then a bunch of people comment on it, but they're not really engaged toward any single purpose, that's where it gets weak. That's where everything starts to disintegrate, right? So looking at the concept of mastermind, when you have the powerful concept, when you understand how to develop a mastermind, you're getting a group of people working towards a common goal. And that's where it becomes so powerful, because they all want each other to succeed. And what that does is, yes, you've got one mind and you got a second. And so that means you got a third, right? 1 + 1 will equal 3. And then, but it just multiplies as you get more and more people, right? So let's say you got 10. It's not 10 minds becomes this one bigger mind, although you could say that. But what happens is, within that group of 10 people, you've got multiple brainstorming ideas within each of them. So 2 people might end up working together, and then another 2 people end up working together towards that same common purpose for a certain area. And then that becomes, those 2 people become 3, right? That create that third mind. The other, just a group of people become that third mind, and it all just works together. And just the power of it, the power of the mastermind is just huge. That's the ultimate main idea that I'm trying to get at right now. And when you apply it effectively, when someone does it right, when someone helps to guide it, lead it, create it, start it, whatever it is, when it's done right, it has tremendous potential. And of course, different masterminds, different people have more skills, more energy, more resources, more things to be able to accomplish what they want to do. So, it comes down to how effectively you're applying your ability to develop, create, and progress masterminds. So with that, this is 10 ideas for engaging a mastermind group on social media. So this is assuming you create a mastermind group, or you're interested in one, and you wanted to create it through social media, because COVID-19, you can't get 10 people together in the same room, that easily, or as easily as it was. So 1, find out what each person would expect out of it. And that's just getting them engaged. What does each person want from the group? Does one person want spiritual fulfillment, and the other person wants to grow their business, and then another person wants to paint, and another person wants to make cabinets? So if they all want those different things, then either you're going to have to manage that group differently, or you're going to have to figure out how to most effectively help them, how to create cohesive conversations about it. And usually mastermind groups are selected from people who have a common purpose or areas that can help other people. So, it's not always that random, but sometimes it can be. Like if you do a business marketing course, and marketing is very general. So people could be trying to market a bunch of different things, but they're all guided under that premise of marketing. Next, we've got get a skills inventory. So this is how you would engage. You would get a skills inventory, get an idea of everybody's skills, what they're good at, what they like to do, what they enjoy doing, what they want to do, their leadership styles, and get that so that you can create a future together, or with certain individuals or whatever, to be able to create something bigger without having to do each individual person does all their own individual project. Make it towards a common purpose. Number 3, tell a story. And this is very powerful. When you tell a story into a group of people, something that they can relate to, something that's relevant, something that is powerful and has a metaphor, and even or has a symbolic event occurrence, whether it's for you or somebody else. But ultimately, with everybody else who's in that mastermind group, they're going to probably take away either something similar or something specifically related to their life that's going to help them. So storytelling has been a key element of human success for millennia. So storytelling is powerful. Keep that in mind as an opportunity to be able to grow a mastermind group through social media. And then you've got branch groups. So there are so many mastermind groups on social media. There's so many, thousands and tens of thousands of people who are in a mastermind, but none of them are being engaged because they're just, they're unsure, they're uncertain, they don't know where to go, they don't know what to talk about. So, and a lot of them don't even know what a real mastermind group is. They just think it's a big Facebook group and it's a mastermind and it sounds cool, but there's more to it. There's so much more power. So you could do that through social media, and you would do branch groups, right? Like as I was mentioning earlier, you got the person who wants to make cabinets, the person who wants to paint, the person who wants to grow their business, the person who wants to do something else. And if they're combined under the marketing mastermind on Facebook, you can find people who are going to maybe the painter and the cabinet maker go together and creating a mastermind, and then the business person goes together and working with those guys or those gals separately to build their business, whatever it is. And then you've got 5, add vulnerability. I put a question mark next to this. Maybe adding vulnerability to a story or to an idea or to your own personal approach to life. Making vulnerability, letting people be vulnerable can help create more cohesiveness in the group. And then number 6, write a group book. I've seen this done very well by some people, where they get a group of people together who are very like-minded, who have similar interests, and they get together to write a book, a compilation, a comprehensive book of all of their ideas and put them into a single book. And they credit all the authors, the editors, and they end up releasing it with all of their names attached. The book, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, that was one of those books. So she basically, she wrote the book herself, but what she also did was bring in the thoughts and ideas of many other authors, many other motivational speakers, many other experts in the field of law of attraction, and brought them into that book. So that's a successful book. That's a successful example. And then you've got everyone start a podcast. Wow. So this is one of those things where you think about a mastermind, and on one hand, you could do a mastermind where everybody is, working together towards a common purpose. You could say a sales group or a group within a company, right? Just a creative group, maybe the design team, you got the engineering team. Each of those teams is their own mastermind group. So if you think about, and each person adds their own thing to it, adds their own success or as their own level of skill or ability to the opportunity. And what you can do is not just make everyone work and do their own little thing toward a common purpose, but this is just an idea, right? Is have everyone start a podcast. If everyone's on social media and they all start podcasts and they all start working together and they all start teaming up and they all start sharing each other's podcasts and they all start inviting each other, think about the multiplicative effect it has if everyone is consistent, everyone continues to work, and everyone is constantly on their game, A game. You're basically creating like a big podcast media entity there. And then next, we've got 8, compile expertise. Okay, so that's similar to getting a skills inventory. But when you're getting expertise, when you're compiling the expertise, you're getting the expertise of all the people that are within the mastermind and getting like an inventory of what they know. Because skills is one thing, knowing skills and how each person can contribute physically, objectively in terms of what they do is one thing, but also getting an area of expertise. There's so many things that are out there that can't be just captured in tangible skills. It's knowledge, it's experience, it's connections, network. So knowing the expertise levels of those people is very helpful. And also the levels, as I just said, is, how much of an expert are they in those areas? And can they get better help, or can someone else also work together to make that area more effective? And next, you've got what they want to learn. So very successful people, and I find this very common. I'm constantly reading in this, but very successful people are always learning, constantly learning. Bill Gates has an entire book list that he's reading. He's reading books every single, he's adding new books to that reading list like every month, lots of them. I don't know if he reads every single day, but he reads fairly often. Warren Buffett, another billionaire, is known for constantly reading the newspaper. He spends 4 hours a day or more reading every single day. And why do people read? Because they want to learn. They want to uncover information. They want to learn new ideas. They want to be able to take ideas and be able to apply them. And then you've got more modern people. You got Tai Lopez, James Altucher. You've got Gary Vaynerchuk actually says he's only read like one book, but he writes a lot of books. So, and I'm sure he probably reads something, right? He might not be reading a book, but maybe he reads a magazine. he loves the Jets. So maybe he's constantly reading sports news about the Jets. So say he doesn't read is he might not read books, but he's reading for information, right? So you've also got, let's see, we'll look at number 9. Oh, what they want to learn. So as you apply this to the mastermind group, knowing what everybody wants to learn so that you can all share your expertise. I mean, learning what they want to learn helps you all start to understand where you're all at and how you can help each other. And finally, number 10, get an inventory of current projects. And what that does is it helps you understand what people are working on, what they need help with, what areas you can work with them on, how everybody can work together. And all of this is ultimately to help people, help groups of people, help a mastermind become more engaged, become more connected, become more driven towards a common purpose in the most effective way possible, because you know a lot about each other. And that is the inventory, or that is the 10 ideas for engaging masterminds on social media. And it's different when you do it in person. You get a group that meets together maybe once a week, once every month as a mastermind group. But when you do it on social media, there is a less of that element of connection. So you have to get a little bit more creative, and you can apply these ideas in a in-person mastermind gathering or group, but you can also do it just as effectively, almost as effectively online if you get creative, if you start to know how to engage them effectively through social media. And with that, I hope you got a lot out of this. I wish you the best as you go out and launch potential and look for ideas and try to create your own masterminds. Let me know how that goes. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, and I would love to be able to connect. And with that, have a wonderful day. I wish you the best and wish you success.